Hello everyone, this is Akash here from BlenderSkill.cf, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the new features of the Enrich add-on version 1.1. So if you have recently updated or purchased the Enrich add-on, you would have got the version 1.1, and in this video I'm going to be going through all the new features which come with this new update. So as you can see, this is the new Enrich panel and nearly everything has changed. The entire interface, it's much more cleaner, it's much more compact. And yeah, the functionality is also there in this new interface. So if you open up the preferences of the add-on, so you'll see that there's some updates in the interface over here as well. It's much more cleaner over here. As you can see, some options are removed as well. So that's the some of the interface updates, and let's start with the new features from the most requested ones. So one of the most requested features was to edit external files or external images using the Enrich add-on. So in the previous version, which was version 1, Enrich add-on only supported the default renders which you have rendered inside Blender, and you could open up the node editor, go to the the compositor and edit the nodes over there, but yeah, it wasn't directly through the add-on. But in this new update, now it is possible to directly use any other image to edit it using the Enrich add-on. So there's a new section over here called the scene settings, which allows you to do that. So you can select the image type. So by default it's render, and now you can choose external as well to load any external image. So now you have this image open button. So if I click on open, you can choose any other image if you want to use. So I have this image which I just downloaded, so I'm going to click on open image, and as you can see, the image is loaded. And if you have some scaling issues, you can click on this button over here that can fix it. And you can choose any other type of image as well. Like currently we are using a single image. You can select image sequence, movie, and so on. So as you can see, now I have a different image, and as you can see, there's some scaling problem, as you can see over here with the the boundaries. As you can see, they are black because there's some problem in the scaling, because the render resolution doesn't match the image scale. So that's the problem. To fix it, there's a nice big button which automatically appears, which is fit image to scale button. So you can click on that, and yeah, it's now properly fit to match the resolutions. And you can control the resolution of the image as well. So you can type in a resolution you want. So like by default it's 1000 pixels, but you can change it to like any other value if you want to use. And so my image is loaded, and I can use the Enrich add-on as I would want to use it. So I can change increase the brightness and the contrast and stuff. You can edit it just like any other image through the add-on, which is actually really cool. So I can increase the opacity of the preset, and yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff now. So that's the the scene settings, which allows you to change the type of image you're using with Enrich. So I can select render now, because yeah, I'll use this image to show all the new features. And also I'm going to reset this curve over here, just so that it's the standard image over there. That's fine. So that's the image options, and next we'll go to the new preset system, the new presets menu and stuff. So in the previous version it was pretty basic. It allowed you to just choose the preset that you want, but in this update it's heavily updated with all sorts of new options that allow you to filter the preset that you're looking for. So the first the menu over here you will find is the categories menu. So this allows you to browse through the preset categories, and some of these categories come by default inside the add-on, and the default one is all. So you can browse through all the presets, and then you have this Lomo, so you can browse through all the Lomo presets, vintage, and yeah, and so on. We have moods. So you can select any preset from these. They are nicely categorized like such. Creative, and also we have this custom category, which holds all your presets that you have installed. And if you have favorited a preset, there's also a favorite category, which I'll show you just now. So by categories we can just categorize our presets, but to make it much more simpler, I have added a favoriting system which allows you to favorite a preset as well. So for example, if I like this preset a lot and I want to use it in future scenes as well, rather than looking for the category and finding this preset, I can easily favorite it by clicking on the star icon over here, and when it's yellow it's favorited, and then you can change it to the favorites category, and it'll show up over here all the the presets that you have favorited. It's gonna show up here, and you can choose the preset, and if you want to unfavorite it, you can simply just click on it again and it'll just remove it from the favorites list. So that's that. And also, to make it even more better, I have added a search option as well. So you can click on this magnifying glass icon and you can essentially search for a preset that you're looking for. So in this all section, I have all the presets, so I can search through them for which I'm looking for. So I can just type in here vintage, okay, and it'll just find out all the presets that have vintage in their name. So it's basic name search. It's not too complicated over here, but if you want to search in specific categories, like in favorites, I want to search for some preset like cold, and I don't have any preset that I have favorited which has name cold, so I can choose creative. Okay, it's not over here as well. Let's go to moods, and yeah, I have the cold preset over here, as you can see. So that's the the search option works with preset categories as well, which is really nice. And then we have the right and left toggles over here, the buttons to cycle through the presets, as you can see, which is really handy, and it's still there. And from the presets menu, if we go to all, you can see we have a few new presets as well with this new update. So there are 5 new presets which have come with this update. So the presets are bloom, boost, creak, and then limits, and then pinch over here. So all these are new presets that come with the Enrich add-on. That's the the presets menu. As you can see, even the thumbnails are completely new, so that you can easily identify what the effect of the preset is. So that's the new thumbnails and stuff, which looks really nice. And then we have something really interesting to show you. This is the the render as thumbnails option. So when we are creating a scene, we essentially from this presets menu, we don't actually know what the effect is gonna look like before we apply the effect to the render. So instead of the render thumbnails, we have some other image, as you can see, which has the effect applied. But to see the effect on this render, we need to choose the preset, right? Now if you have a whole lot of presets, then it's hard to browse through all of the each preset individually and find out what effect it adds to your render. So that's why this render as thumbnails option come. If you click on this, it'll bring a new window over here. Now this generate thumbnails window will allow you to essentially change all these thumbnails to match your render with the effect. So I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. So if I just click on render as thumbnails, it's gonna give a small warning that Blender may freeze while generating the thumbnails, and it gives you the resolution you want. So the lowest resolution is the fastest, but it's of lower quality. So 256 is recommended, so you can use that, but I'll go with 128 because it's gonna be faster for this tutorial. And you have this option to show progress bar. So yeah, this progress bar option is kept as an option over here, because generally I have found out that when we show progress bar, Blender may tend to crash. So the chances of crash increases, but it's there. I mean, it doesn't crash so often, but still I've kept it as an option. So for this video, I'm just gonna enable it, and I'm gonna click on OK. There's a small progress bar, and as you can see, we are essentially generating the thumbnails for this presets menu. Once it's complete, you'll see now we have the preset thumbnails matching our render with the effect applied. Now since this is not such a complex render, you'll see nearly all of them look same, but you get the idea, as you can see. So if we have renders, we can if we have our render, we can just generate the thumbnails and essentially preview the effect that will be applied. So I can choose a preset now, and as you can see, it's exactly the same effect which is actually really cool. And I have opacity applied, so that's why it's like that anyways. But as you can see, it's the exact same effect that is being applied over here. So that's the the preset generate thumbnails option, and this option also works with all the categories and stuff. So it's again everywhere it's just changed to the thumbnails like such. That's actually really nice. And if you want to revert back to the default thumbnails, you can come to the preferences of the add-on, and you have this new button, revert the thumbnails, and you can basically come back to the old presets thumbnails, as you can see, which is nice. And one more thing which I wanted to show you about categories is how dynamic it is. So the categories menu is really dynamic, and if you want to create your own categories, essentially you can just go to the user preferences, and you can go to the add-on folder first. So open install folder, you can click on that, and it will bring you to the add-on folder over here, and then you can go to the icon folder, and you'll find all the folders which correspond to the category of the Enrich add-on. So to create a new category, just create a new folder over here, name it to something that you want. So let's name it, I don't know, cold, fine. And you can throw in all the presets in that folder that you want to show in the category. So I can choose some presets. Let's go to moods, let's select cold 1, cold 2. Let's copy the icon from here and just put it in this cold folder like such. So now I have a new category with 2 new presets. If I come back to the add-on, you'll see it's updated over here. We have a new category called cold, and we have 2 new presets as well over here, as you can see. So it's in real time we have just added new category and stuff. So it's really simple, and it's actually really cool as well. So I'm just gonna delete this category because I don't want it. So deleting it, coming back to the Enrich add-on, and as you can see, it's removed. So that's the the dynamic nature of the categories in the Enrich add-on. So the other settings, as you can see, opacity, it was there in the previous update as well, and it's pretty much the same. And if we go to the color correction settings, you'll see that there's a new option over here. There's a new effect, temperature. Now there was a separate section for temperature, but now that's removed. It's combined with the color correction settings as well. And if we now there's only one slider for temperature. Before we had 3 sliders. One was coolness, one was warmth, and one was strength. But essentially it doesn't make sense you're controlling coolness and warmth at the same time. So that's actually not proper. But with this update, now you have one slider. So if you go to the positive side, if you increase the actually I'm going to decrease the effect of this preset just to show you what I'm doing. So if you increase this temperature value, you're essentially increasing the temperature, you're making the scene more warm. And if you decrease it below 0, you're essentially making it cooler. So this is how it works, and that is much more correct to the real world, the way how the temperature works. So that's the temperature setting, and the other settings are pretty much the same. And if we go to this tint settings, we have a tint map ramp as well, and you can click on this icon to view this map, and you can control this map over here. So now all these maps, if you open up mist as well, you'll find this ramp over here. All of them are now less sensitive, as you can see. So in the previous update, you'll find that the flags were over here so close, and if you update it really less, it will update a lot in the render. But now it's really less sensitive, so that means you can easily control your ramp, which is actually really nice. So that's there with tint, mist, and defocus. So you can control your ramp like such, and we can apply some tint to it. So if I increase the strength, as you can see, I have just applied some tint to it. So I can change the foreground color, the background color, and the overlay. I can choose that, and essentially I can change this to be like screen or soft light by default and stuff. You can do all sorts of stuff like that, which is actually really nice. So as you can see, these are the new tint options. As you can see, it's much more powerful now. So I'm just gonna decrease the strength, and I'm gonna reset this to the default value just because I don't want to use tint in the scene. And for the the mist, I'm gonna make this strength as well 0 for now. because I want to show it to you later on. So yeah, that's the 10 settings as I showed you just now. So you can play around with the colors and stuff, so that's really obvious. Let's go to the mist settings, and the most obvious options are now pushed to the top, and the ramp is always at the bottom now. And you can increase the strength of the mist, and as you can see the effect that it adds. So it's the the simple mist effect. So I can change the effect which it adds. So I can make this something like that. If I show it to you, as you can see, it's much more obvious. So the things which are the farthest to the camera, they are heavily covered in mist, and as it gets closer, it's lesser and lesser. And again, you can change the color of the mist if you want. So that's too extreme, so I can keep it slightly blue, and yeah, that looks much better. So I'm gonna switch off the mist for now. And if we go to the defocus, again we have this ramp over here, and I'm just gonna edit it slightly. Actually I think it's fine like such. We'll keep it like that. So yeah, we're gonna just increase this blur amount so that we can see the effect it adds. So yeah, it's essentially gonna blur out the objects, and as you can see, that is really far, and the blur amount is too high, so it's a bit weird over there, but you get the idea how it works. So that's the the defocus settings, and I'm gonna switch it off. I'll make it 0 because I don't want to apply that. And then we have the lens effects, which is pretty much the same. We have vignette settings, and one of these requested features was to view the vignette map. So if we just increase the opacity, you can see the vignette is applied, but the controls, if you want to control the width and height, it's hard to view what sort of the map of vignette is. So with this eye icon, you can just see the vignette, and you can essentially modify it. So I can increase the blur amount slightly, and yeah, essentially decrease the width. And once I'm happy with it, I can just switch this off, and yeah, now I have a proper vignette. So that's the the option to view the vignette map, which is really nice. And then we have the cinematic border, which is pretty much the same. We have split view, which allows you to compare your before and after render, and the save image settings. Now one of the other requested feature was to allow you to reset the values of the Enrich panel over here. So if you have gone crazy, you have changed nearly everything, and if you want to come back to the default values, you can click on this reset Enrich option, and this will essentially essentially reset all the values. So yeah, I want to keep the nodes, so I click on yes, and as you can see, the Enrich panel is reset now, which is actually really nice. Now if you want to completely remove Enrich, you have this option over here as well. So if you click on that, it will remove the Enrich add-on from this scene. So that's the option which is there. And one more option which I'm going to show you, which is in the scene settings, is the new Enrich values system. So this system is kind of a new type of preset which is introduced in version 1.1. Essentially it allows you to save all your settings of the Enrich panel and use it in any of the future scenes. So for example, in this scene I'm using mist. If I increase the strength of the mist, as you can see, mist is applied, and I want to increase the temperature and stuff, so I can increase the temperature as well, make it a little bit warmer. Let's just change some, let's saturate the color slightly. Let's do all sorts of stuff like that. And if I'm happy with the settings, I want to save it. Now if you want to save the setting, you can come to the scene settings, and currently I don't have any other Enrich values, so I can click on this nice save button, and this will show you the save Enrich values option. So you can read about what Enrich values is, and you can name your value. So I'm just gonna name it, let's name it mist. I mean, you can name it anything, but I've just named it mist, and I'll click on OK. So now this is saved as an option over here, as a value. So I can add even more values by clicking on this plus icon and adding in more. I can remove it by clicking on this minus button, and let's actually show you how it works. So if I reset Enrich, and now I'm back to the default scene, and if I want to use those same settings which I used before, I can click on this scene settings, I can select mist. it'll bring back all the previously loaded settings again, as you can see. So all the the ramp, everything is now loaded just as it was. So this option will be useful in other scenes if you want to repeat a specific task always, rather than always editing it. You can just save it as a value and you can use it, which is actually really nice. And I'm gonna just delete this because I don't need it. So that's removed, as you can see. So that's the the features of this new Enrich add-on. Now that's just the introduction of all the new features. So yeah, the other feature that I've added is now you can animate the Enrich panel. So you can add keyframes and stuff to any other value if you want to animate. So that's now possible. So you can insert keyframe, you can do all sorts of animation with the add-on as well. So it's animation friendly basically. And if we come to the node editor over here, and if I just show you the new custom preset installation system. So pretty much this custom Enrich presets option is pretty much the same for now, but if I select my preset over here, so I want to install my preset, as you can see, it's gonna show you that if this preset can be installed, and it shows this preset cannot be installed because of the the following reasons. So as you can see, the first input is image, first output should be image. So I can basically understand what's the problem and why can't I install the the custom preset. So now I'll fix those problems, and if I come back, select my preset over here, it'll show this preset can be installed. And it's pretty intelligent. If you have some problems in the naming and stuff, so if I just again load that in, it'll show you this preset cannot be installed because your name cannot have a space over here. So that's pretty intelligent, and you can rectify all those problems to install a custom preset. And once a preset can be installed, if you click on this install preset button, it'll come up with a new window which allows you to choose a custom thumbnail, or you can generate the thumbnail as well. So if you don't have a thumbnail for this preset, you can generate the thumbnail directly inside Blender. So Enrich will automatically do it for you. Or if you have a thumbnail, so you can click on this use custom thumbnail, and it will open up the file browser from where you can load the thumbnail. So I'm going to generate the thumbnail for this preset. So I'm going to click on this, and as you can see, the preset is installed. There's a small notification up here, and if I come back to this custom category, you can see I have a new preset. As you can see, my preset, and it has the the same thumbnail and the preset applied to it. So if I choose it, and if I increase the opacity, you can see what the preset does. And actually this preset does nothing because it's pretty much a simple color balance node with not too much of settings applied to it. But yeah, that's there, and it works much better now. So you don't have to have empty objects scene and stuff, which was there in the previous version, but now it's much more simpler and much more better. So those are all the new features, all the major features with the Enrich add-on version 1.1. There are also a few other features like version fix and stuff, but I'm not gonna go through all of them in this video. You can explore more if you want to. And yeah, I hope you found this video useful, and thanks for watching. Do subscribe and leave a comment.